John Fitzgerald Kennedy, also known as JFK, was an American politician who served as the 35th President of the United States from January 1961 until his assassination on November 22nd, 1963, in Dallas, Texas, in which he leaves behind his spouse, Jacqueline Kennedy.
Kennedy was fatally shot by Lee Harvey Oswald while he was riding with his wife, Jacqueline. Texas Governor John Connally and Connally's wife, Nellie, in a presidential motorcade, a 10-month investigation by the Warren Commission from November 1963 to September 1964, concluded that Oswald acted alone in shooting Kennedy. Jack Ruby also acted alone when he killed Oswald before he could stand trial. Kennedy's death marked the fourth and most recent assassination of an American president, following Lincoln, Garfield, and McKinley. Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson became president upon Kennedy's death.
I saw the life inside you. Shine bright tonight.
Robert Francis Kennedy, which was the brother of John F. Kennedy, was an American politician from Massachusetts who also served as the United States Junior Senator from New York from January 1965 until he was sadly assassinated in June 1968. RFK, also known as Robert Francis Kennedy, was assassinated June 6, 1968 by Sirhan, leaving behind his son, RFK Jr., Kerry Kennedy, and his spouse, Ethel Kennedy.
Sirhan, born on March 19, 1944, is a Palestinian with a Jordanian citizenship who was convicted of the 1968 assassination of U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy. He is currently serving a life sentence at the Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego County, California, and is commuted to life in prison since 1972. Robert F. Kennedy gave a speech on the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr. and was given on April 4, 1968 in Indianapolis, Indiana, while campaigning to earn the 1968 Democratic presidential nomination when he comes to find out that King had been assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. Despite fears of riots and concerns for his safety, Kennedy went ahead with plans to attend the rally at 17th and Broadway in the heart of Indianapolis' African-American ghetto. Martin Luther King Jr., born Michael King Jr., born on January 15, 1929, was an American Baptist minister and activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader in civil rights movement. He is best known for his role in the advancement of civil rights using the tactics of nonviolence and civil disobedience. Based on Christian beliefs and inspired by the nonviolent activist Mahatma Gandhi. In 1963, Martin Luther King Jr. was arrested and sent to jail because he and others were protesting the treatment of blacks in Birmingham, Alabama. A court had ordered that King could not hold protests in Birmingham. Martin Luther King Jr. was fatally shot at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee on April 4, 1968. King was rushed to St. Joseph's Hospital where he was pronounced dead at 7:05 p.m. that evening. He will always be remembered for his nonviolence and civil disobedience. James Earl Ray was convicted of the murder of Martin Luther King Jr. and had been found guilty by jury trial. He would have been eligible for the death penalty. Sentenced to life imprisonment, he later recanted his confession and tried to unsuccessfully to gain access to retrial. Ray died in prison of complications due to chronic hepatitis C infection.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper.
These three will always be remembered for the life and legacy of a man who brought hope and healing to America.